But first, a report by a former NATO chief has sharply criticized Germany for seeking the removal of all U.S. nuclear weapons from the country. The report says that the move is irresponsible and driven by populist sentiment. For more on this story, let's go live now to Niels Annen, who's a foreign affairs expert for Germany's Social Democrat Party. Thank you very much for joining us. So tell us, the bulk of the criticism seems to be that Germany wants to remain under the U.S. nuclear umbrella, but doesn't want to be one of those holding it up. Do you think that's a fair critique?
No, I think the remarks of Mr. Robinson are misguided. There's a huge enthusiasm in my country after the speech given by President Obama in Prague, putting out the vision of a nuclear-free world. And everybody here in Germany, regardless of party affiliation, is trying to underline that the days of the Cold War are over. So if this is true, then it's an antagonism to have still nuclear warheads in Germany, and there's a growing consensus among German parties that this warhead should be removed.
So you don't feel that these warheads serve any further military strategic purpose for the country?
I believe that there is only one future, and that must be a common future between the members of the NATO alliance and the Russian Federation. Of course, Germany's security will still remain on NATO, there's no doubt about it. But if the United States and Russian leaders are negotiating the future of strategic nuclear armament, there should be included also the tactical ones. And I believe that there are only less than 100 warheads still in German soil, and we would be more than happy if this would be included into the negotiation. But this will also include, of course, the remaining tactical warheads dominated by the Russian Federation. They should be included into these talks.
So you mentioned NATO there. NATO strongly opposes Germany's initiative, saying that Europe needs the protection of U.S. nuclear forces. Are you not worried about the threats that NATO says still exist?
Well, we have a lot of threats, and we have to face these threats. But this is not the classical situation we had during the Cold War. The Russian Federation, NATO partners are more or less allies today. We are facing terrorism in Afghanistan and all over the world. We have the NATO-Russian cooperation forums. So I think we need desperately new thinking, and the remarks of Mr. Robinson are in a way still remarks of the era we thought that would be over, and this was the Cold War episode. We know that Germany suffered a lot during this time. We had a divided country. We had maybe the biggest presence of weapons of mass destruction all over the world. And it is in the interest of the German people that we go forward in these negotiations.
And earlier you had mentioned President Obama. Now he has stated that his administration is committed to the goal of a world without nuclear weapons. Do you think that Washington still intends to follow through on this?
Well, I'm convinced that that is a long-time vision. You know, we all know that President Obama is facing huge problems also in his own country. And confidence is something you cannot just make a speech and decide that it's going to rely on confidence. So we need to engage in bilateral talks. And I believe that abolishing the nuclear presence of tactical arms in Germany could be also a symbolic step to show that we are not fearing any Russian intended aggression against Europe or Germany, and that it's not risking our own security if we are talking about this. And I'm very happy that the new Foreign Minister, Mr. Westerwelle, was mentioning his intention to withdraw this nuclear warhead from German soil.
Very good. Thank you very much for your commentary there. Niels Annen there from the Executive Committee of Germany's Social Democratic